Hi students, good morning. We already completed the Delhi Sultanate, the period of Delhi Sultanate, like that the slave dynasty. Also the Tughlaqs and the Khaljis. These were we studied already in previous two lessons. Consequently, we studied previous two lessons. Hope that all are remembering these points and all. Anyway, this is the new lesson for you, administration and art and architecture under the Delhi Sultanate. Actually, in this lesson, explaining about whatever we studied in the previous lesson under each rulers, like as from Qutbuddin Aibak up to we studied Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Some of the rulers, the most important rulers under different dynasty. So totally how it was known as and what was the contributions in the field of administration, art and architecture. Like that way it is briefly mentioned in this lesson. So let us come to the point. We already studied the Delhi Sultanate, those who were reached India and concentrated their capital at Delhi. That's why that Sultanate came to be known as Delhi Sultanate. Listen, these Delhi Sultanate, the people, those who came to Delhi and in India established their own kingdoms, they were actually Turks or Afghans. Some of them were from Turkey and someone were from Afghan. So that was their original natives actually. Anyway, they were introduced some of the features related as their administration. The first one is known as the Sultan. Remember, Sultan. We studied that they called their emperor or the ruler as Sultan. That came to be known as Delhi Sultanate. Anyway, Sultan was the most important person, one of the Delhi Sultanate. Most of the sultans, however, kept up the pretense of regarding the Caliph as the legal sovereign. I hope that you are remembering Iltutmish. He just collected the investiture letter from Caliph for accepting his role as a sultan by the nobles and all. Anyway, they given more importance for the position of Caliph, the world Muslim leader. And Balban, we studied that he told his people the king or the sultan became the representative of God on earth. That's why from there onwards the role of the king or sultan came to be known as divine theory of kingship. Remember, divine theory of kingship. They called themselves as different names like as deputy of God, Zil-i-Ilahi, that means a shadow of God. Like that way they considered the ruler or sultan equal or the representative of God on earth. So that much importance was there for the sultan. And also some of the political, legal and military powers are imposed upon the sultan. Like that he was responsible for the safety and security of the state. He was the commander-in-chief of the military forces. Also he was responsible for the maintenance of law and order or law and justice inside his region or country. Like that way importance it is given. Therefore more importance, the most powerful or superior person it was considered by them as their sultan. Next category is under the administration it was occupied by the ulemas. They were the religious leaders and theologians. Theology means study about related as God, and the theory related as the God and not only one God, all the gods that are collectively study about the God and its origin. Like that way things, the philosophical content or all, it is totally known as theology. The ulemas were the religious leaders and theologians, formed an important group in the Sultanate. Many of them were appointed to high offices inside the court and granted revenue-free lands. Though the sultans consulted the ulemas, yet they did not allow them to dictate the policy of the state. Many of the rulers, they framed their own laws and along with the Muslim laws. Especially we know that all these Sultanate period came from Turkey or Afghan. Anyway, they followed common religious belief. It was Islamic religious belief. That's why these ulemas also very strongly believed upon religious content and all. They were religious leaders and theologians. The next most important concept they given to the court. The court, how much the court was important under the Delhi Sultanate. The court was considered as a symbol of power and glory of the Sultanate. We studied, their court become adorned and magnificent courts were constructed by some of the rulers and all like that way. They considered the court as a symbol of their power and glory. And the customs and practices observed in the courts of the sultans, they have been described in detail. We studied, Moroccan traveler Ibn Battuta during the time of Muhammad bin Tughlaq and all. Ibn Battuta mentioned in his travelogue about the systematic order inside the court and all. Also, he told that they were used a large audience hall. It was called as Hazur Uzlan. Remember, students, Hazar Uzlan. They were called a large audience hall, which means its meaning. That was 1,000 pillars. The meaning of the word Hazar Uzlan, which means 1,000 pillars. The pillars were of wood and supported a wooden roof, beautifully carved. And in this hall, the Sultan used to hold a public darbar. And the Sultan came to the court dressed in grand attire. His dress and all was very attractive. And even his personal bodyguards used to be dressed in a fine uniform and shining honor. Like that way, they were used a very powerful armor and all, the bodyguards of Sultan. So remember, they were showing the Sultan's power in the court, power and glory in front of others. And during Balban's reign, all the visitors, they had to offer sijda and paibos. We already studied. I hope that you all are remembering, for showing the power of the Sultan. When the Sultan wanted to honor a courtier or a visitor, he invested him to the khilat, that means a ceremonial robe and all. It was showing the power of the Sultan. And the effect of all these measures, that was that the visitor used to be completely awed by the ruler and his court. The visitors, they want to identify and accept that the ruler become more powerful person inside the court and all. So remember, students, these all points, whatever we want to study in this lesson, all one we studied from Qutbuddin Aibak to Firoz Shah Tughlaq, all the rulers under these different rulers and under different dynasties. Anyway, just concentrating all together and mentioning about the common features of all these points only. Okay, so concentrate these 3 points: the Sultan, Ulema and the court. Okay, read the textbook very well. Thank you.